Oh, sorry. I'm just finishing off my point salad. And in today's worker placement game, it's all about co-opetition. That's when you're playing against the other players, but you're also working collectively, because if you lose, you all go down. It's for 1 to 4 players. It's going to play about 25 minutes a player, and it's for ages 14 plus. Now, in this game, it is worker placement, which I'm sure a lot of us know how to do that. You put your worker, you do a thing. But in this game, there's so much going on, you have to have a fine balance between all the aspects, or you will lose. It's brought to us by Final Frontier Games. It's Robin Hood and the Merry Men. Let's take a look at it. In the game, we have a number of components that we'll look at briefly, as well as the main board and the gameplay. Each player has a personal player board, and you are one of 4 heroes: Robin Hood, Little John, Jane Fortune, and Will Scarlet, each with a unique ability. On your personal player board, you will store your hero Meeple, and in the hideouts and the training grounds, your merrymen. You will also store your possessions, and you have traps and barricades. As you place these on the main board, you will gain access to additional resources. Traps used against the guards, barricades used against the carriages. In resources, we have iron, wood, and tools, as well as money and distraction tokens. They will be very useful. The dice come in 2 types, used for weapons and skills. Weapons are in 4 colors with 4 types of weapons. They'll be useful against the guards and the carriages, while skills will gain you money and resources in competitions or stealing from the rich. One of the ways to earn victory points in the game is by carrying out tasks set out by the king. And then there's the Merryman cards. There are a number of these cards in the game, and they are used in conjunction with your Merry Meeples. By placing them on the right side of your player board, they'll be active. Placing them on the left side of the board, they're passive. These cards will gain you points, as well as the ability to do actions and gain resources. Prince John is determined to wipe out anyone who stands in his way. His will is carried out through the sheriff. In the hero phase, the sheriff cards are revealed and the appropriate actions taken. This is one of the main, but not only ways in which this game will fight against you. There are 2 other ways to earn points and resources in the game. Through setting your traps and capturing guards, you will hold them ransom. And then, depending on the ransom tile, it will indicate points or resources earned. You can also loot and draw tiles from a bag, and you will earn said resources. The game itself will last 5 rounds, and in each round there are 2 phases: the Merry Men phase and the hero phase. You will collectively lose the game if, during gameplay, one of the roads has no coins, or during the Merry Men phase, you are not able to place one of your workers at a location. Now, I don't have the board set for initial gameplay. As I said, it's worker placement. You're simply placing a worker and taking the appropriate action. But there's so much going on the board itself, I just want to explain different aspects and how the game is going to work. Locations where you can place are the armory, the workshop, the woodcutter's hut, the church, the town square, and the iron forge. Each location gains you different resources during gameplay, and depending on which card you use on your personal player board in conjunction with the Meeple, they will gain you different resources if they're placed in the huts or on the main location itself. Be careful and watch out for guards, as you can set traps for them, but also remember, if guards completely fill a location, you lose. So during gameplay, while you may want to go places for resources, you're going to have to balance fighting the guards so they don't overtake a particular location. You can also rescue prisoners from different levels. We have the archery competition and you can track reputation. There's also a location for building your barricades on the 4 roads and building your traps. You can also join the king's envoy and gain victory points as well. As you're placing your workers and gaining resources, building barricades and traps, only your hero placed in the main area of a location can fight a guard. It shows which die you need to use, and you must roll one of those symbols to defeat the guard. Also, by placing barricades, you're stopping a carriage from entering the city. If that happens and the carriage is successful, you'll lose a set amount of coins. If all those coins are gone, you lose. Your merry men, they will have access to different aspects of the game. In Phase 2, the hero phase, your hero will access different aspects. It's in the hero phase the sheriff cards are revealed. They will tell you where to place the sheriff, guards, and which road will be activated. It's in these 3 ways that the game fights against you and challenges you to win. Guards are placed on the gathering locations, first in the hideouts, making their way to the main area. If a merryman is present, they're arrested and you pay a fine from your possessions. Remember to use the traps to your advantage and try to capture the guards. If a road is activated, carriages will move towards the cities, and when the sheriff is placed, he will either place guards on hideouts at a location, never in the main area, or when it comes to a road, he can remove barricades or even remove coins. As I said, it's a point salad. You'll gain points for reaching the top of the reputation track. As you move up in reputation, different aspects of envoys, barricades, and traps will be worth different points. You'll receive points from archery competition. You'll also receive points rescuing people from different levels of the prison. And don't forget, if you fulfill objectives on the cards from the king, you'll receive points too. However, you will also lose points based on people still in prison at the end of the game. And none of that's going to matter if one road loses all its coins or guards encompass a particular gathering location. Everyone will lose. And that, my friends, is an overview of Robin Hood and the Merry Men. Now, when I said it was a point salad, I wasn't kidding, because there are a lot of aspects to this game and places where you can utilize your workers. You have to maintain that balance, though, because as you get the points and you want to win, unless you win collectively, those points aren't going to matter, and you're all going to lose, and you only have 5 rounds to do that. Keep an eye out on the prince and the sheriff, but there's other ways to lose as well, and that helps in the balance of the game because you have to look at each aspect and what you're going to do. Now, this is just a prototype, but if it's any indication of Final Frontier's previous games, this thing's going to be fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I hope you get a chance to check it out. I'll talk to you again soon.